Don't use credit cards to buy things using tomorrow's income. If you can't buy it in cash today, you can't afford it.
Card mistakes number 4. Using the card to buy things you can't actually afford to pay for in full, in cash, right now. This mistake is how people end up maxing out credit cards. It's a combination of purchases that you don't have the cash for at the moment that rapidly creep up, reaching the limit on the card. I've seen people use credit cards for moving expenses, then dinners during the move, then furniture for the new place, and then groceries while they settle into the new place. And then. The cards are being used because they didn't save properly and budget for the move, so there isn't enough money in the checking account to weather the 2 to 4 week transition surrounding a move. These expenses are not emergencies, but the card is used as if they are because not enough cash was saved. This is how limits on cards are easily maxed out, and people find themselves stuck in the cycle of minimum payments while coming up with cash for everything else in their lives. Moving is just one example. If you have a maxed out credit card, take just a few minutes and look back at all of those actual charges you made to max it out in the first place. Then, I want you to look at how many of those expenses were emergencies or absolute necessities. My guess is that a majority of them are not actually needs at all. People get trapped by this type of overspending all of the time. And then, to keep up with that lifestyle, they need to use another credit card until the same thing happens again. If you had to use a credit card for an actual emergency, I sympathize with you and will help you make sure that doesn't happen again. But for now, I'm talking about the habit of overspending, using money we don't have. This happens all of the time because we think our income will eventually help us pay off the balance. But what you are doing in this scenario is actually borrowing against your future income at 29% interest. You're paying for things now with next week's dollars, which quickly wipes out this week's dollars, and the cycle begins. You need to rein in this type of spending, and if you start to notice that you are not responsible with credit cards, it's time to give them up entirely. Go on a credit card fast, lock them away, and only pay for things in cash for an entire week. Physically handing over those dead presidents makes you actually think about and feel what you are spending. It's like when you were a kid and your parents gave you $5 to buy candy or tokens at the arcade. As a kid, you treasured that $5 bill and tried to turn it into as much fun or candy as possible. You need to relearn or learn for the first time the true value of money. Credit cards don't let you feel anything besides sliding further into debt with every swipe along the way. If you are in debt or have maxed out cards, I'll say it again. Cut them up and use cash so you can begin to understand just how hard you work for the physical cash that you earn. Remember to track your cash expenses in your budget so that doesn't also become a problem of lost money. Do the cash exercise for a week and see how much more intentional your spending becomes. After that week, guess what you get to use? A debit card. Because this is far closer to cash than a credit card in that it requires real money to already be in your account to use it. Debit cards also make it far easier to track spending because most bank apps now have expense tracking and even budget breakdown tools to show you if your expenses are wants or needs. Credit cards are just downright dangerous for people who can't responsibly use them. It's like giving kids a key to the candy store and saying, "Here's the key to unlimited candy, but don't go in there."